Hello YouTube, it is July 6, 2019, and I'm here to do an updated Ancestry video update. This is the first time I'm doing it on my personal channel. I thought to switch it on over to my personal channel now versus the main channel. Y'all know my first set of Ancestry videos I did on my main channel, and y'all might be familiar with me from my main beauty channel, DivaWuan, if you're now seeing me again through the algorithm. Sorry for the bonnet in the tank top. It is going on 9 o'clock at night, as y'all can tell from the timestamp below. Matter of fact, let me see if I can adjust my screen. Nope, it's not allowing me to adjust while I'm on camera. Oh shoot. It did let y'all see the thumb. Oh crap. Okay, I'm not able to adjust. Oh, there it go. As y'all can tell, it's 8:58 at night. Um, I've been wanting to do this for a moment. Ancestry for some time now. Not only have they updated my Ancestry results to show slightly different, but they're now able to do DNA matches to compare you to your family members. So as y'all know, or some of y'all don't know, for the ones who are not subscribed to me, my family is a combination of black, white, and Eastern Band Cherokee Indian. So I identify obviously as black. I'm majority black. Both my parents are black, but there is Native American and French in me, and then complementary vice versa with some of my other relatives. Some of them are more white, and some of them are more indigenous Indian. Hence why when some people look at me, there is some confusion. Because even though I'm undeniably black, some people don't think I'm black American. Some people sometimes confuse me for Afro-Latina. I get Imam Sadansi. I get Ethiopian. I've been asked if I'm Etrian. When I wear my hair straight, I've been asked if I'm Indian from the continent of India. All of that. So all of that goes into, my diverse genetic makeup. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, one thing I don't like about these constant updates with Ancestry is the fact that when I try to search specific names up, because I took the time to take some pictures of people to research so I don't be going through the whole list, because my family is very large. It's well over 1,000 people, 500 on the black side of myself alone. So I wanted to narrow it down to a select group of people. I didn't want to be going through a whole list of blacks or a whole list of and be, I wanted to be a equal balance of everybody. But y'all will see what I'm talking about. Let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm just going to go to the search feature real quick. So when I go to the search feature, I'm supposed to be able to type in somebody's surname and it's supposed to come up. Now you see my second cousin right there. So his surname is Dance. So if I type in Dance, his name supposed to come up because that's his surname, right? Okay, it actually works for him. I don't know why it ain't working for some other people. So let's start off with my second cousin who I connected with, who is adopted. He was, given up at birth, adopted. Turns out he's my second cousin. Never met him a day in my life. He was born and raised in Germany. So usually it would take you directly to the match, but now they changed it up. So this is the new format. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I ain't know this. Okay, so Ancestry now doing some estimate connections to family members now. Okay, they stay updating on a daily basis. I mean, well, not daily. It seems like it's daily, but they stay doggone keeping this update. Like they even got it where they can test your DNA for an extra $20 and compare your food habits and stuff. Now I'm gonna get that with my upcoming check. But right now, let's just go to the ethnicity estimates. So this is my ethnic results on the left, and this is my cousins on the right. So as you can tell, I am dominantly Congolese, not Ethiopian. Like I said, a lot of Ethiopian people like to claim me, but I do not have any East African DNA at all. My dominant DNA, and here's the proof. Now y'all have raw DNA proof that I am dominantly Congolese. A lot of people do not know that. And I don't know why, because if you look at my mother is like 2 shades lighter than Lupita Nyong'o, black skin, and she looks Congolese. But for whatever reason, people do not believe me when I say that I am dominantly of Congolese descent. So there's the Mali result comparisons. Europe, I'm only like 14% European. He's 43% European, so biracial. So overall, let me see, he's 45% European. No, 48% European, 52% African. Pretty much the typical genetic makeup of a biracial person. And unfortunately, I can't zoom in, so I can't wait till I get this laptop fixed. $260 repair to fix the cracked screen. The dead charge, I got to keep my darn on thing on the charger, or otherwise it would shut off. Oof. So y'all just bear with me, y'all. Okay, go back. But we're just going to go through several family members. Just show y'all how my genetics, look, and it's going to debunk some stereotypes, because a lot of people like to say that if you biracial you look a certain way, or if you full black you look like this, even though if you look at me, some people wouldn't think I'm the typical black American. Like I said, I have people think I'm Indian, I have people think that I'm Ethiopian, even though I don't have no East African DNA at all. And then you're going to see some actual biracial family members who phenotypically look more blacker than me, as far as lips, wider nose, rounder face structure goes, kinkier texture hair. I have some biracial family members who have 4C hair. So debunking that stereotype that if you biracial, you automatically have the quote unquote good hair. And y'all know how I feel about that term. All hair is good hair as long as it's cared for and moisturized. Okay, now let's see a full white person in my family. Here's one right here for y'all. And hopefully in the editing section, for legal reasons, I will, block out their last name. So as you can tell, she's dominantly white, but once again, look at the features. Wider nose, rounder face. Now, obviously straight hair and fair skin, but once again, wider nose, um, and rounder face, which goes to show that you can't darn on stereotype people based off of phenotypes alone. Because look at my nose, a thinner nose than hers, more oval face, and some people like to say, oh, the oval faces come from Europeans, even though there's tons of Africans with oval faces. But you have anthropologists that will say, oh no, those are the European Africans. But then the DNA shows that I'm dominantly black. Once again, people, sometimes you cannot go off of phenotypes, and you cannot go off of darn gone even so-called anthropologists that have they darn gone narrative they trying to spin. And I'm not going to get into that, because YouTube is starting to delete videos based off of conspiracy theories, even though it ain't no conspiracy in it, it's the straight up truth. But I ain't trying to get this video taken down, so we ain't even going to touch on that subject. So that's how my DNA compares up against my average white family members. Let me see if I can pull up a Native American in my family. Let me see. Let's see what Christopher's DNA is. I think his is going to be more so biracial. And unfortunately, it doesn't show if you doesn't have your full, if you don't share full matches, it doesn't show his full DNA. It just shows the DNA that you share. So just from the shared side of our DNA, he has 39. African, 20% European. The other 41% is not shared with us. So I'm willing to bet that he's more so biracial. Well, he's definitely not more of the Native American side because his Native American comes up as 0. Okay, here's a fellow sister of mine. Because I ain't wanting to just show. But then again, on my maternal side, a lot of my maternal side is mixed. So it makes sense that you will see a lot of mixed race on my mother's side. On my father's side, you see a little bit more of the blackness because a little bit of breakdown with my maternal side. The blackness was introduced within my family, far as I know, was within the first 4 generations. So I'm only like a fourth generation black person on my maternal side. Before then, it goes straight to European and Native American ancestry. I cannot accurately trace my black DNA on my maternal side due to my great grandma being a mixed race woman, her father being fully white, her mother being black and Native American, and then so forth from there. I can pull up the Native American DNA, but I can't pull up the black DNA. But hopefully, as time goes on with this new job, I also be able to look more into my genealogy and find all that out as far as, you know, more about the family connections or whatever. But I think this is pretty good. So if you've ever wanted to compare your family DNA with each other, this is a way to do it with the what's it called? The DNA matches from Ancestry.com. I don't know if 23andMe has something similar, but Ancestry, I definitely love this feature right here. And like I said, the traits, introducing your ancestry traits. Um, when you click to learn more about that, it's a $20 upgrade. I don't have that right now. I purchased that on my check that comes out on the 18th, and then I do an update on that. But then let's click on her. So once again, it's just pretty much simple and straight to the point. It just breaks down your DNA matches. As you can tell, this cousin of mine is 12% Native American, 15% European, 29% Congolese. And Congolese is I want to say, the dominant amount in the black side of my family. Congolese, and I think I get the Mali for my father's side because I've noticed that the family members that I know all have Congolese DNA, but they don't have no Bantu or Mali. So I'm willing to bet that the Mali comes from my father's side, and the Cameroon definitely comes from my mother's side. I think I might just stop it here because it just come repetitive, just going through everybody. Because unfortunately, I'm not pulling up too many. I might have to go back to the main search to pull up some more black people in my family because I'm getting a lot of biracials just on this darn um on the primary search. But another good thing about Ancestry is if you ever suspect that you're not of somebody, you know, I found out who my real father actually was through Ancestry, along with a lot of people. So that's another thing that you will find out about Ancestry too. If you ever had some suspicions about who your true father and stuff was, Honey, Ancestry is the way to go for $99. And you know, if you wait till the holidays, they always have, you know, deals and stuff going on as well, where you can get it as low as 59 bucks. Oh wow. Okay, so here's the first Native American in my family that y'all get to see. She's the first one I've actually seen come up so high because most of the natives in my family uh, do not take ancestry DNA. I tried to get my great aunts to take it. They would have been the best references. Y'all know my great grandma passed 3 years ago, but her two sisters, they both share the same father and the same mother. So it would have been good to have one of them two tested. Maybe I can convince them. Um, but yeah, she's definitely the highest one that I've seen thus far. 51%, only 2% African, 2% Mali, 1% Senegal. Usually the this is a first. Let's see what our European ancestry is like. It doesn't show. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I am subscribed to Clio and it goes to my phone and to my darn on. It's synced with my laptop, so just ignore that. But it would be interesting to see what the rest of her DNA would be like. But like I said, it only shows the shared DNA, and it's just showing that she's 51% native. I'm going to take a guess by the rest of her hair that the rest of it is African. Because if she was darn on Native American and European, I would imagine that her hair would be more straighter. So yeah, that's what the native side of my family looks like. And this is what I mean by view all DNA matches. This would show, you know, 8 of your best selected random choices. And then if you just click view all matches, then it would go down to your immediate list from the people who are related to you closest. I mean, I can't darn gonna speak tonight. It's 9:15, y'all. I'm ready to go to sleep. But this would tell you the people who are related to you the closest for my second and third cousins. Um, to to your fourth, fifth cousins, etc. So this is my second cousin, Shantrifa, and this is on my father's side, which I don't know. Surprisingly, she has Congolese DNA as well, but see how high the Ben Togo is? Like I said, the Ben and the Mali definitely comes from my father's side. Now the only flaw with Ancestry is 23andMe will actually be able to separate my maternal and my paternal. So I can't wait to also do um 23andMe because I'm guessing, you know, as far as the DNA breakup, but 23andMe will actually break down which DNA specifically comes from who. And I'm just going to do this 12 more minutes, y'all, just to give y'all an overview of my, you know, my La Familia, my family. But it was interesting to see one of my family members because, like I said, most of the natives of my family don't do ancestry. Um, and you know, to piggyback off an old subject on my first video, some people thought I was. I don't know why people think I would have any reason to lie for. Like, I'm not no Elizabeth Warren, honey. I'm not trying to get. I'm not trying to get in school off of Native American ancestry. But some people will try to think that you're lying, and especially in the black community, because you know white people get called $5 Indians, but a lot of black people do too, and it's because, and I wanted to get into this history real quick. Once again, I ain't going to go too heavy because y'all know how YouTube is these days. But when it comes to black people in certain areas, such as, you know, me, I'm born and raised in North Carolina. I'm not too far over from Asheville, so it would make sense that the native side would be Eastern Band Cherokee. But when you are taught in history, they would try to make it seem like Native Americans never made it with, black people. That they were just as racist as opposed to being forced to own slaves due to the Homestead Act, due to the Trail of Tears, and other atrocities that happened to Native Americans. And, the list goes on and on. But then again, when DNA comes out, many people like my family is able to show the Native American ancestry. And I ain't talking about the bullshit with the Hebrew Israelites and what they talking about that all black people are Native American. I know. I'm talking about separating the native side from the black side and show that you are of indeed both. Not that I'm full blown Indian, um, but that I have native ancestry or whatever. Just like if you was white and you had native ancestry, DNA testing can easily, determine this. So for whatever reason, some people thought I was lying and thought that I was, self-hating because I thought I might have been 5 or 6%. But now seeing, some of my family members, you can understand why I thought I might have been a little bit more European or native than I thought. Because once again, you look at some of the black side of my family that's more phenotypically black, they might look like her. Versus I look more like the biracial side of my family, but I'm not biracial. And granted that I know I wasn't biracial, but I thought, I might have had more, European DNA or native DNA or whatever, granted my looks. But once again, it goes to prove that you cannot judge a book by its cover. Because like I said, you see that my looks as we go through my family looks closer to some of my biracial family members, even though I'm not biracial. You'll see that my DNA looks just as much identical to some of the full black side of my family, even though I look like I'm East African. See, exact same Native American DNA estimates. She looks more phenotypically black. I look more phenotypically mixed or East African. And due to the fact that you can't judge a book by its cover, I ain't want to go into the politics of it. But if y'all ain't seen my Kamala Harris video on her ancestry breakdown of her being more Indian from India versus black, it goes to show that this is why some people are requesting for her to take a DNA test. Because just because she has a tan complexion and she looks like she might be black, that can't be the case all the time. Because once again, let's go back to my cousin who looks like she has the same skin tone as Senator Kamala Harris, but she's indeed more Native American. Like, once again, same skin tone as Kamala Harris, around the same texture of hair, but she's more Native American than anything. Versus Kamala Harris is saying that the Jamaican father of hers is an Indian Jamaican, and her mother is Indian from the continent, so she might be a full-blooded Indian. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, own up to who you are. And it's like in this day and age where you can break down people's DNA like this, it's like I don't understand why certain people feel like they need to claim one race over the other. Like, I never understood biracials feeling the need to have to say that they're black and disown their whiteness, or people. And another person that I seen was old girl off of Real Housewives of Potomac. I will put her picture right up in here through somewhere if my editing is that fancy. But she found out her ancestry results was 39% European. Now, I've always suspected that she was half and half because of how fair skinned she is. But she found out that she was only 39% African. And both of her parents identify as black. But she still, after to this day, still claims blackness with as little as 39% DNA, and I don't understand it. Like I said, in this day and age, you should be able to claim who you naturally are. It's like I don't get the need to feel like you have to claim one side above the other. If you are Native American, claim that you're Native. Just like I'm dominantly black, claim that I'm black. I'm not biracial. If you're dominantly white, like, you know, old girl off of Real Housewives of Potomac, claim your whiteness. There's nothing wrong with claiming your dominant DNA. And the same thing with Senator Kamala Harris. Claim your Indian, you know, ancestry. In this day and age, I don't know why people, everybody, matter of fact, everybody in these types of situations should just do a DNA test. Like, it's so easy. It's like $99. If you have enough money where you get $2 million donations sent to you within, you know, an hour of a debate, I don't understand why, you know, you can't use, you know, just, you know, $99 of that darn on stuff, especially since people are accusing you of blackfishing, and they have, you know, accurate reason to think that you're blackfishing because of the reason that they're saying that your father is actually Indian. But meanwhile, I'm trying to pull up some pictures real quick. I took some snapshots. I'm going to try this search feature again and pull up some more relatives. Okay, I didn't get the name. Okay. Oh, there it go. First, I thought it was still cutting up, y'all. It's still not pulling up the exact people that I have, though. Now, surname is the first name, right? Or the last name? Because I'm going by last name. When I think of surname, I'm thinking of last name, but maybe I should type in the first name. No, that's not it, too. See, Ancestry, y'all need to darn on correct this. See, this is what I don't like because I'm trying to type in the name, and even if I type in the full name, it's not even going to come up. Okay, let's include similar names. Y'all see this? And I know I'm spelling it right because I'm looking right down at my phone. Your ancestry, y'all need to get it together. Okay, I'm going to try this a couple more times and let's see what it does. It's still not pulling up the people that I wanted it to pull up. I don't know. But pretty much that's my family in a nutshell. We're going to try this a couple more times and then I'm just going to give up on it. Hopefully Ancestry comes across this video and see that their search filter is not working, because once again I'm typing by surname and everybody that I'm putting in is not coming up. I want to try one more and I'm calling it a day, y'all. So let's pull up one more person. Okay, it looks like it's just not correct. Oh, there we go. So I was able to pull up one person using the search feature and they did not pop up at the top. Now let's see if I put up their exact name, will they come up at the top or not. Now y'all see who I'm trying to pull up right here. Now let's see if I go by the full name. Y'all see that? Ancestry, y'all need to get this together. Because y'all see that she just came up a minute ago. And then let's see if I try to type her name by herself. You see everybody else's name is coming up but hers. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but be wary that the search feature is not currently working. Oh shoot. There I done went too far back. But let me type in one more person and we're gonna end this on out. So this is my cousin Christine, and we share Congolese DNA, Mali DNA, Benin Togo, Ivory Coast Ghana. She's 29% Native American. European, she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 20, 34. So she's pretty much like a, split down the middle. 33%. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 12, 21, 35% European, 29% Native American, so 66. So that would make her 34% African. So 34% African, 29% European, and what, 33% white. So mixed with all three. Like I said, on my mother's side, it's very much mixed all throughout the board. But when you look at her face, other than the fair skin, um, lips about approximately the same size, nose about approximately the same size. Once again, this is why it leads to so many confusion. And when I did my video on y'all know I did a video nearly a year ago today. I think it was October of last year, so August, September, October, 9 months ago, the scandal came out with a very popular YouTuber who went by the name of Phil the Advice Show. His name is now the African Diaspora Network, and I will annotate it somewhere in here. Now, his wife is dominantly Native American. His wife is like 66% Native American, but due to the fact that she had phenotypically black features and she's from Mexico, she naturally thought that she was black because, like my family, there's a lot of blackness in my family, and she has a lot of blackness in her family. And it's a whole tie salad. You have Native Americans that look more black. You have black people who look Native American. You have white people who have wide noses, just like in my family. So she naturally thought she was, black, right? Turns out she didn't have no, black DNA at all. She was 66% Native American and darn gone 34% European. And everybody went in on Phil and was saying that he purposely lied, this, that, and the third. But it's like, once again, you can't judge a book by its cover. It's like, this is why it pays to take an ancestry test. If you know that your family is mixed, sometimes, and especially if you're racially ambiguous, if you're not as dark and lovely as me, and you're fair skinned like my cousin Christine, you cannot naturally assume because you have a wider nose and full lips that you might just be full out African. Because once again, the DNA would tell the truth on you all the time. Because she's more other than she is, black. She's 29% Native American, 30 some percent, European. So that only leaves room for like 30 some percent, African DNA. Just like with Kamala Harris, she might have some African DNA in her, but we don't know. And once again, just showing you my family, showing you what Phil's wife might looks like. You can't, go just off of raw looks alone. sometimes it just pays to cough up the $99 and take the ancestry test. But that's it in a nutshell, y'all. That summarizes my, family tree. Also touching on some, politics and, relating it to some other subjects. If y'all want me to do a part two, especially if Ancestry gets their darn gone search feature together, because like I said, it would have been shorter if I was able to search the people, but as I was searching, it wasn't pulling up, and I have to edit some of the stuff out. But other than that, how y'all think about this? Y'all tell me what y'all think about, the breakdown of my family and the conversation about, Senator Kamala Harris, and the black controversy, people thinking that most people have reason to believe that she's portraying blackface of sorts. Um, Also, field advice show scandal with, his wife. I thought it would be best to just tie all of those into one. It was like, well, since I'm doing an ancestry video, we might as well not just, stick on my family. Let's bring in some history talk. Like, let's bring in some Native American talks and all of that with the history of North Carolina and, the conspiracies with Cherokee and Cherokee Indians and black slaves of the Cherokees and white people of the Confederacy and of the Democrats. But once again, no, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. If y'all want me to do more videos like this, definitely leave it in the comment section. Because like I said, I loved history when I was in school. Matter of fact, my minor in school when I was going to be a veterinarian was going to be in history, specifically African history with a concentration in minority studies. So I can just talk on these types of subjects all day, from Native American history, African history. Matter of fact, let me give y'all some of the books that I read real quick, and then I'm going to get on out of here. Like, even though y'all not going to be able to fully see it because I got the small screen on for me, what I'm currently reading right now is Mythology of the Americas. And this is by Berlin. And I would leave that down below. Also, the last book that I checked out was African American First. I also got my I Am a Man by Joe Starita. And then I got the Inca Empire, which is a comprehensive encyclopedia of the Incas and other ancient people of South America. So this is the indigenous Indian. Now, if my search feature was working up on here, I would have showed y'all the black people in my family who are actually indigenous Native Americans, which means they Native American actually comes from South America, because Ancestry is now able to separate Native American DNA from Native American original DNA. Let's see if my cousin has. No, she doesn't have it. But I've actually been compared to some people in my family that actually have Native American Aboriginal DNA. The same DNA that the so-called Hebrew Israelites like to claim that all black people are, which is completely false. And once again, DNA shows the truth of it. But yeah, that's it in a nutshell. Like I said, if y'all want me to talk more on history topics in general, even outside of my, ancestry videos, leave it down below. If y'all want me to do a part two, leave it down below as well. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.